In today's episode, we will discuss President Reagan's UFO briefing. In March 1981, President Ronald Reagan attended a classified briefing at Camp David regarding UFOs and extraterrestrial visitation to Earth. William Casey, the director of the CIA, was present to provide the president with the highly classified information. Casey acknowledged the sensitivity of the topic and left the decision of attendees to President Reagan. The briefing was organized chronologically, covering historical events up to recent times. Casey expressed the hope that all the questions from Advisor Number 2 would be answered during the briefing. The caretaker, a CIA contract employee responsible for protecting the information, conducted the briefing. The caretaker explained the high level of classification, known as Above Top Secret, ATS, and the special measures taken to safeguard the material. President Reagan entrusted Casey to determine the attendees, and Advisor Number 2 and Michael chose to leave the briefing, citing plausible deniability and a lack of need to know. The audience was narrowed down to include Advisor Number 1, Casey, and Advisor Number 3. The caretaker introduced himself as a longtime CIA employee and mentioned the existence of Group 6, responsible for managing the information. President Reagan expressed his anticipation for the briefing and assured the caretaker that he would ask questions throughout. President Reagan acknowledged a previous brief overview from Casey in January but was uncertain about the level of detail provided. Casey explained that time constraints had limited the previous briefing and assured the president that he and Advisor Number 3 possessed extensive knowledge beyond what was shared earlier. Eager to learn more, President Reagan prepared to engage in the classified briefing on UFOs and extraterrestrial visitation to Earth. The president sat in the briefing room, surrounded by his advisors and top officials. The atmosphere was tense as the caretaker, a high-ranking individual with access to classified information, prepared to deliver a briefing of the utmost importance. The president had a vague recollection of a similar subject from years past, during Nixon's presidency, and he wondered what new revelations awaited him today. The caretaker addressed the president, seeking permission to begin. The president, aware of the sensitive nature of the discussion, questioned whether they were being recorded. The caretaker confirmed that a CIA transcriber was documenting the briefing, ensuring accuracy and preventing any information leaks. The president agreed, not wanting to risk any mistakes in the future. Concerned about the confidentiality of the briefing, the president sought advice from his advisors. After deliberation, it was decided that one advisor, referred to as Advisor Number 4, would stay, alongside the CIA transcriber. The president trusted their judgment in maintaining the secrecy of the information being shared. Realizing the potential gravity of the briefing, the president suggested taking a short break before diving into the details. After the break, the president signaled his readiness to proceed. The caretaker emphasized the highly classified nature of the briefing, stating that it held the highest classification within the U.S. government. He began by presenting a slideshow, providing a visual aid to accompany the information being shared. Additionally, each person in attendance received an outline to follow along with the presentation. The president expressed gratitude for the outline, allowing him to follow the briefing more closely. The caretaker informed him that they would refer to the visits of extraterrestrial beings as ETs, and explained the origin of the code name, EB, for the live alien retrieved from a crash site in New Mexico in 1947. The president inquired about the possibility of other aliens, noting the presence of the number I in the designation. The caretaker acknowledged that there were indeed others, which would be explained in due course. As the caretaker continued, he revealed that 2 spacecraft had crashed in New Mexico in 1947 during a storm. One crash occurred near Corona, while the other was located near Detil. The U.S. Army had discovered both crash sites and recovered the debris. along with one surviving alien referred to as EB-1. The president sought clarification on the meaning of EB and learned it stood for Extraterrestrial Biological Entity. Different terms were used by various military and intelligence factions at the time. Curious about the number associated with EB, the president was informed that it denoted the sequence of discovery. The caretaker assured the president that more details would be provided later in the briefing. Satisfied with the response, the president encouraged the caretaker to continue. The caretaker proceeded to explain how the debris and EBEs were transported and stored in secure facilities such as Los Alamos National Laboratories and Dayton's Air Force Foreign Technology Division. A second crash site, discovered in 1949, yielded 4 decaying alien bodies. The remains were eventually taken to Sandia Army Base and then transferred to Los Alamos. The president interrupted, inquiring about the number of aliens inside the first crashed spaceship. The caretaker revealed that there were 5 dead aliens and 1 live alien. The deceased bodies were preserved and stored, while the live alien, EBE-1, was studied extensively. The president asked about the similarities between the aliens and humans, wondering if any classification was possible. The caretaker responded negatively, explaining that apart from some shared facial features, the aliens differed significantly from humans in their internal organs, skin, eyes, and even breathing. Their blood was not red, and their brains were fundamentally dissimilar. Eager to know the origin of the aliens, the president inquired about their home planet. The caretaker disclosed that the star system Zeta Reticuli, approximately 40 light-years away, was their place of origin. The president sought a familiar reference to comprehend the distance, but his limited knowledge of astronomy hindered his understanding. The caretaker clarified that Zeta Reticuli was much farther than our closest star, Alpha Centauri, which was 4 light-years away. Curiosity piqued. The president questioned the duration of the aliens' journey to Earth. The caretaker proposed addressing that topic in a future briefing, as the subject matter was complex and required a detailed explanation. The president agreed, acknowledging the levels of compartmentalization surrounding the information being shared. As the caretaker concluded this part of the briefing, the president reflected on the significance of the information he had just learned. The existence of extraterrestrial beings, their crashes on Earth, and the subsequent retrieval and study of their technology and bodies were profound revelations. The president recognized the weight of the responsibility on his shoulders and the potential impact this information could have on the world. The caretaker assured the president that the briefing would continue in subsequent sessions, delving into more specific details, including the technological advancements derived from the recovered spacecraft and the interactions between humans and the extraterrestrial beings. The president expressed his eagerness to continue the briefings and gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation. With the initial part of the briefing concluded, the president thanked the caretaker for the presentation. He emphasized the importance of maintaining the utmost secrecy and compartmentalization, ensuring that only those with a need to know would be granted access to this classified information. The president also reiterated his gratitude to Advisor Number 4 and the CIA transcriber for their presence and trusted them to handle the sensitive nature of the briefing responsibly. As the meeting adjourned, the president and his advisors contemplated the implications of this newfound knowledge. They recognized the need for careful consideration, strategic planning, and consultation with experts in various fields to navigate the uncharted territory of extraterrestrial contact. The president understood that this information had the potential to change the course of human history and vowed to approach it with wisdom, discernment, and the best interests of the nation and the world at heart. Time is up for this episode. Stay tuned for the next one. Thank you for watching.